Hello Internet, welcome to something new. We're going to be playing RimWorld, bought and paid for today. I played RimWorld quite a lot at a friend's house several years ago. Have not played it in a very long time, so there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be a period where I'm going to have to get back into the swing of things, but I do remember really liking the game. I know it's gotten a full release this year, and up here we're on version 1.0.2408. I guess that's the most recent. I own this through Steam, so I don't know if compiled October 1st, whatever. You probably don't care about that. We're going to jump into a new colony, and we're going to be going with the basic scenario, and the reason for that is because I have not played in a long time. So my preferred playstyle, I actually like working up from a single survivor. Unfortunately, I'm pretty dumb, and if I remember right, the learning curve on this game wasn't super steep, but once you get into the game, the difficulty can spike pretty quickly depending on how things shake out. So we are going to be going with the 3 survivor setup, the classic start. We start with a lot of equipment. We start with prepackaged food. We have a lot of materials. We could go tribal, but they start pretty far back in the tech tree, and I think I would prefer to start with, this is like what I think of as the vanilla experience, and then you branch out into the more difficult ones later. So we're going to be going 3 survivor scenario. I also think we're just going to go with Cassandra as well, and we're going to go medium. If you don't know RimWorld, this is basically this is the personality for the AI that controls the game. So Cassandra is kind of a balance thing. I believe Phoebe Chillax is basically she's pretty easy. She makes things a little bit smoother, and then this guy is completely random and will just give you whatever he feels like doing. So you can get extremely difficult things on day 1, that kind of stuff. So we're going to be going with Cassandra. We are going to go on the medium difficulty. What does it say? Recommended for experienced strategy game players on their first game of RimWorld, or skilled RimWorld players who want some breathing room to pursue funny or weird goals. So that actually might be a little lenient even, because I have played this a fair bit, but it was a long time ago. We're going to go with medium. So if you're here expecting like hardcore play, no, maybe next game. But this game we're going to be going pretty basic, and we're going to go with reload anytime because I'm recording for YouTube, and I would hate to lose progress and then not be able to load my save, because I believe commitment mode means you get 1 save. Even you can only save when quitting. Yeah, that's not going to fly for me for YouTube reasons. Randomized seed. Yeah, I don't care about this. Sure, village. Great seed. So there you go. If you want to play on this seed, you can. It was advised to me that I actually shrink the world slightly. Okay, apparently can't do that. I don't anticipate any CPU problems with this game, because it ran fine and recorded fine. However, I did notice on this particular monitor that when I panned around, I got a lot of frame tearing, and I don't know why that is, but it was only on this monitor. When I put it on my other smaller monitor, I did not see those problems at all. So hopefully that's just an issue with my refresh rate, and hopefully that's not an issue for you. So I believe what we're looking for is this yellow-green here. Temperate forest is the most basic. I mean, do we want to go forest? Maybe we should go in a more mountainous region just for poops and giggles. What do we got here? Boreal forest, forest of coniferous trees. Despite the harsh winters, boreal forests sustain a diverse population of small and large animals, have warm summers. 2 degrees to 77 degrees. That sounds kind of like where I live. Although it gets hotter than that. Average rainfall, I don't know much about these statistics. I know, so basically these symbols on the map represent settlements of whatever kind. Some are hostile. For instance, these purples are neutral. These yellows are neutral. These red skulls, not surprisingly, are hostile. They are, I guess, pirates or something. We have green over here. They're also initially hostile, so we kind of want to avoid that. So just before we do all this, I want to say I'm having a really bad day, and I'm not feeling very well. So my throat's really been acting up. If I'm get froggy or phlegmy or whatever, please just bear with me. I really feel bad about it, but there's nothing I can do, right? Okay, so, and I'm assuming these dark blotches are representative of Oh, impassable. I was going to say of mountainous regions. So this is mountainous. Maybe we do want to go with a mountain terrain. And we don't want to start near, if we start near a settlement, like I think 4 tiles within a settlement, they will become hostile to us because they think we're encroaching on their land. So ideally, I would like to start near a road, ancient asphalt road, temperate forest, and I would like it, I think, to be hilly or mountainous because then we would have a lot to mine and work with. But the forest is generally the recommended thing, the flat forests. I also don't know how much proximity to the pirates matters. You're right on the road. There's no real mountains in between. I would love to put it between these 2 settlements. Green is hostile, blue is hostile. Okay. Let's look. What do we got going over here? No, we just said blue was hostile. Okay. Green is hostile. Yeah, I think up here is probably going to be our best bet. Green is hostile. Blue is hostile. Man, they're everywhere. So let's just go with my instinct. My instinct said pick something near the road. Pick something hilly or mountainous. So here we have large hills. Small hills. Nothing mountainous. I mean, hills would be fine. What are we looking for material-wise? We have marble, limestone, and slate. There's an example of my throat cracking on me. So this is fine. I think movement difficulty. I think we're just going to plop it down. Just plop it down. Advanced. Yeah, someone had said to make the world smaller just for CPU reasons. I don't know how much that matters. We're going to play as is, and if we run into CPU issues, we'll try to sort it out later. So we're going to pick here. And here we get the option to customize our survivors. And the thing here is that you can't individually assign points. What you have to do, while she is old, she is 80 years old, she has hearing loss, cataracts, scars, and a bad back. So she would not be optimal for our group, for instance. But we can randomize these characters. And what I'm looking for, I would like one person with a high shooting skill so that they could hunt. So these are the skills that are important. I need someone with high shooting. I would like someone with a high cooking, or at least a passion for cooking. That's what these flames represent, how easily they learn that skill. Cooking, someone who can grow. Animals, I don't care. Crafting would be nice, but is not strictly necessary. Same for art. Medical is very important, and intellectual is very important. So those are the skills I'm looking to hit. Shooting, cooking, to some extent plants, medical, intellectual. Okay? So I think you're pretty good, huh? Good at shooting, good at construction, good at mining, good at social. I think you're a keeper. We'll move you up. Unless incapable of artistic, transhumanist, he would like to have, volatile, mental threshold break 15%. He has an old gunshot wound. His mother is someone Vimes Rubber, is this woman, and his ex-wife is Ludmilla Mila, which is the very old woman. Okay, we're gonna get rid of her anyway. What else we got? Also high shooting, construction, mining. You're actually more like what I would want, but you're incapable of caring, social, intellectual, artistic. Yeah, that's not going to fly. So what I'm going to do is cut out the section of this video where I am editing all these characters, because this is going to possibly take a long time to randomize something I want. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out. I've told you what I'm looking for. And then it's also worth noting each person has stuff that they're incapable of. And people like, for instance, dumb labor, she will never haul goods for us. And that is unacceptable on the colony. We're going to need a lot of people to do a lot of work. So it can take a long time to randomize exactly what you want. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back when that is finished. All right, and so here's the team I'm taking forward. I did not want to spend a ton of time on this. So these people are not as excellent as I would like them to be, but the more time I spend doing this, the worse it's going to be. So we have Von Riel Von Vimes, Triple V, over here, who is decent at shooting, but not super amazing. But he gets the passion for it, so he will level up the more we make him hunt and things like that. Also good at melee, which is a throwaway skill, never going to use it. He can construct, he can mine, so if we need manual labor done, he will focus in on that. He also has somewhat of a passion for animals, which we can put to use later in the game, and he's pretty okay at social, so if we need someone to interact, we could use him. Next, we have Thomas Whitlock, who is, has some skills, but his primary thing is that he is pretty good at doctoring. He's not super great at intellectual, but he's also extremely good at social. And so social benefits us when negotiating with other people, and then both medical and intellectual, because he has a passion for them, they will go up the more he uses them. He will be our primary researcher, so intellectual will go up. And then we have Turtle, Regina Turtle Vimes, who is married to Vaughn, which I have no control over, otherwise I would get rid of it, because I don't like the connection there. And she is primarily good at cooking, tending to the plants. She has a passion for plants. She will level up over time doing plants. Again, pretty good with animals, which we can employ later on. And all three of these people are capable of shooting. So we don't have anyone who can't do violence. Sometimes they're incapable of violence. The only thing to worry about is that Regina Turtle here is a psychopath. She has no empathy, which is not such a big deal. But she has creepy breathing, and it's going to upset people in the colony. So hopefully that's not a huge deal, but we'll deal with that as it goes. For now, let's get into the game because I've been sitting here for 11 minutes or so, and I'm tired of it. Let's click start. It's going to drop us down on this planet, and I'm going to tell you about the terrible day I had. 3 of you wake up in your cryosleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely escape. You get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. So we're going to pause the game immediately. Our pods, I guess we can let our pods come down. Poof. And here you'll see we have a fair number of supplies. There are generally also supplies scattered around the map. For instance, here are some survival meals here as well. So yeah, hopefully there's no weird screen tearing as I do this, but the panning was messed up on my television, not in the game, but only in the recording, and I think it has to do with my refresh rate. So number one concern, boomalopes. These things, when hunted or killed, will explode and start a fire. This is a really big problem because if this bear gets hungry and attacks a boomalope, it will explode and set fire to the nearby area, and oftentimes animals will wander right up to your front door. So if it gets killed out front, it's going to burn down our building, which can be a real problem. So what we're going to do, can we quickly select all these things? We cannot. So we're going to have to manually allow them to have access to these items. We're going to zoom way out, and we're going to select these survival meals, which is as far out as we can go. Okay, so we're going to have to do this a little bit differently. So we'll allow them access to those. There are more up here. Let's put them in the very corner just in case there are more on the map. Okay, didn't highlight any of the other ones. We'll allow those as well. Take a quick peek around. More. Oh, that's an alpaca. Okay. Alpaca are fine. Okay, so we unforbade that stuff. What is this? Nothing, apparently. Okay, we're going to unforbid this as well. All of these basic supplies that we're going to need, I'm going to go ahead and allow them access to all these materials. Looks like we have a tiny pooch. Male Yorkshire Terrier. Well, not exactly the dog I would want if I were crash landed on a planet, because it's just going to eat my food and not provide much of a bonus from a defensive standpoint. Let's also go out and select as much of the steel as possible. And we'll allow that as well so they can haul and make access, take access of that. Unforbid, what is this behind her? Unforbid that as well. So you are our shooter, Vaughn, and you will get our bolt action rifle. And then we're going to look at who has the next best skill. They're both 4. You're better at melee. You're better at melee. We'll give you the revolver. Equip the revolver. And then you can have the knife. Unfortunately, you're the intellectual anyway. We're not really going to send you into combat. And we need to decide what we're going to do for a base. Now, a lot of RimWorld people will plan out every aspect of their base before they build it. That's not really me. So I think we're going to throw a wall on here and a door, and we're going to make this our temporary shelter. just so they have a place to sleep tonight. So number one priority, we're going to, everything is done by accessing this. Odds are good that you already know about RimWorld, but there are some people who might not. And we'll plop a door right there. Basically, everything is done from these things here. Building and everything is from these menus. And then it's this, colony management simulator, basically. What we're going to do, we're going to build a zone for stockpiling our things. Let's think about this. Maybe we should plan a little bit. So this will be at least one bedroom. We may be able to split it and make it 2 bedrooms because they're husband and wife, so they'll sleep in one room. We can give the other guy a slightly smaller room. We'll put the stockpile here for now. 8x8 is fine. Wall. This is a big enough room to put a kitchen in between. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. For now, we really just want furniture. We're going to need them to have a place to sleep. And we'll go ahead. Actually, we're going to do this the opposite way. I'm going to put the big bed over here. And we'll put the little bed over here. Throw a torch in the corner of both. That way when we do split it, in fact, we'll just split it now to save us some grief. Go ahead and build a partition there, and we'll put another, we'll just put the door there. No, we won't. We'll put the door here as well. We also need a zone where we can drop off garbage that we don't want. So we'll go ahead and just make this over here. They're going to have to look at it, which is going to upset them, but that's fine. It's day one. We're just getting things situated for the moment. And we'll go ahead and unpause and let them go about their business. Hopefully, yes, they fully equip themselves. Colonists need bed, yes. Need recreation variety, that's correct. We'll give them a horseshoe pit that they can throw horseshoes at. I don't know where they get the horseshoes. We're basically just putting a wood stick on the ground. But, and we'll go ahead and deconstruct this, which will give us some advanced materials like what he has right here. So this is a start. These are very small bedrooms, but it is temporary. So I'm not super concerned about that. We're also going to need more wood. So I'm going to go ahead and mark some trees for execution. Excellent. Okay. So let's talk about my bad day, because part of the reason I wanted to record RimWorld, one, I wanted something that I could replace Roller Coaster Tycoon with, because I kind of like that simulation-y, slower paced, more relaxed game that I can have fun with. Where I don't feel obligated to play it. It's just because I love it and it's fun, and RimWorld very much are those things. So yeah, pretty psyched about it. Why aren't we are getting wood, okay. And number 2 is because I got rid of my Cataclysm series temporarily, and that was my series where I talked about my just bad experiences. And so I kind of want a place where I have, it's relatively low impact gaming, where I can talk a lot, basically, is what it comes down to. So, yeah, I wanted to play RimWorld. I wanted to talk. Today, I'm just having a not great day. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, I drive for a living, which, if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Happy to see you. You look so pretty today. Yeah, so I drive for a living. What are you doing, Turtle? Harvesting? Okay. And tonight, got a flat tire, which is not a super big deal, except that it's like 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile from the gas station where I could have some light, so I had to drive on a flat, which I don't like doing. Got to the gas station, dug all my crap out of my trunk, to change the tire. I have a donut in the trunk, and oh man, they're right close to our house where I don't want them to be. Got the donut out, got the jack out. The jack sucks. Half the lug nuts on the car don't fit the wrench I have. It's a whole thing. And so I start jacking it up. I start taking off the lug nuts. The lug nuts are rusted. They're squeaking, making horrible, horrible noises. I don't know how you feel about that, but that is like nails on a chalkboard is like one of the worst things. Like if you wanted to torture me, that's what you do. Nails on a chalkboard, squeaky lug nuts, right? So horrible, just god awful. And then we're going to continue harvesting wood. We're going to need a lot of wood. It would be maybe more prudent to start digging into the wall here so that we could set up like an underground base. But last time I played, if you built things under the mountain, you would get bug infestations, which were like super devastating. I don't know if they ever changed that, and it never seemed fair because they would just spring up in your base, and I hated that a lot. But I don't know if I'm saying that. So, yes, I get 3 lug nuts off, no problem, right? They're a little tight, but I get them off. 4th lug nut, can't even turn it. Nothing I do will turn it. I'm putting my body weight on it. I'm stepping on it. I even like was doing it so hard the whole wheel was turning, so like I jacked it back down to the ground so I could have that resistance of it being on the ground to turn it. And I'm turning it, and I'm literally bending the wrench. Like I can see the wrench bending. It's one of these, it's like a 4-pronged wrench that collapses, so you have to use these nubs to connect it. And I can see that I'm bending this flimsy thing. And I'm getting mad because like it's like 3:30 in the morning. What am I gonna do? I call my family and say, hey, I can't get a bolt off my car. You know, it would have been an embarrassing experience. Okay, why would you guys do this? Why would you separate? You're married. Social. Married to Vaughn. Yeah, you're an idiot. Set owner. Vaughn. I'm confused. And Turtle. Right? And then this one is Whitlock. Get out of bed. Wake up. Go to bed in your bed. Yeah, I don't want them to have a huge mood debuff from sleeping on the ground. I don't know why they would default that way. Man, my throat is bothering me. So I can't get the final lug nut off. And I'm kicking the damn thing. I'm hitting the tire. I don't know what to do. And finally twist it. And the bolt comes off, but so does the actual spoke that it goes on, like it screws onto. So I sheared off a bolt on my freaking tire. So I'm pissed off. I got 3 lug nuts and 1 with a spoke stuck in it. I can't get out, so I can't even try to thread it on what's left. Get the tire off. And this whole time, by the way, it's like 30 some odd degrees outside. It's freezing. It was probably in the 20s. It's freaking cold. And I'm like out of shape, and I'm fighting this wrench and like putting my weight on it and bouncing, trying to twist it, and like I'm out of breath and I'm breathing all that cold air. And I don't know if you remember, like when I was in like middle school and we ran the mile, it was like 40 degrees outside. And that breathing hard when it's cold air makes you feel so sick. And I felt terrible. Freaking got the donut on, screwed on the 3 lug nuts that I have left, which was not great because I have to drive it until I get the new spoke welded on and stuff, which I'm sure will take a week to get it up to the mechanic because I don't know how to do that crap myself. And got the friggin' donut on, put the 3 bolts on, and they're squeaking like hell, and I hate that sound. And finally get it squared away and drive away, and the car is thumping. Like, I don't know if it was because the tire was cold or what, but I'm bouncing in my seat, and I feel so nauseous. And like right before this, I'd eaten a sub. I went to Walmart because I didn't really eat a lot for dinner. I was like, I'll pick up a wrap at Walmart. They always have pre-made food. And they didn't have any like easy food. All they had were these freaking subs. So I ate a whole sub. Then I went to work, had this problem, feeling nauseous because of the cold air. And it's like, I just wanted to puke, which is not a great feeling. Okay, I need to maybe stop talking, maybe focus on building. And it was just, I felt miserable. I felt very sick. And then I still had to do like several hours worth of work before I could even come home, you know, and finally came home and felt sick the whole time, felt miserable. Like the whole route, I just felt like I was going to throw up. And finally get home and was immediately like violently ill as soon as I came home. And it was really, really unpleasant. And I just, you know, it's just like, honestly, now that I'm talking about it, doesn't sound so bad. I mean, you know, certainly had worse days, especially even in recent memory, I had worse days than that. But like the tire, it's just one more thing, you know, it's not going to get to the mechanic. I don't know if the tire can be plugged or if it's sliced open. I don't have money. You know, it's like $100 a tire, and him welding a spoke on's probably like $30 too. And then I got to worry about driving on it until I can get it fixed. So I'm driving on this donut that bounces me around for the next, 6 days till my mechanic has a free slot, which he never makes me a priority. He knows my vehicle is something I need for work. And like other people have multiple vehicles where I'm from, and it's like they can work it out. But for me, I need this vehicle for work. And he's always like, I'll get it in 3 weeks. And it's like, dude, you can't take, like, it literally, how long would it take you to weld a spoke on my hub? It probably takes him like 10 minutes, and he's gonna charge me like $40 for it. So I heard an explosion, and it said there was space debris, which space debris crashes to Earth now and again and can be harvested. Sorry if this panning is choppy. I heard it and thought it was a boomalope. I actually don't see it. They're usually pretty big and identifiable, like the one we had over here. Is it in there? No, those are trees. So I missed the opportunity to click on that. So yeah, and I just it just sucks, you know? And it's like I have money right now. It will be okay. It's just it's always this, you know. It's always one thing after another. It's always, you know, you just spent money on this. Like I just hit a tree. Like if you don't know, I had a video on the channel where I explained about how I hit this tree and it like jacked up my front end. I still haven't fixed that, and that's probably like $300 or $400 worth of cosmetic stuff that needs to be taken care of, because I'm just waiting for when I get pulled over, because it looks terrible. And now I have to worry about tires and stuff on top of that, and it's winter time, so like the other tires are going bald as well. If I were smart, I would just fix all of them, which can't afford to do. It's always something, you know. And I'm sure you probably know exactly what that feels like. You're probably someone who has that same kind of crap go on in their life. And it just sucks. I don't know. Oh, these are 3 wide? Thought you were 2 wide. Well, that's not great. So we can only put it there, really. I was going to put a dinner table in here as well. Dining room chair. I mean, give them a place to sit so we can at least cook our meals. We're going to need torches in here as well, because they get a mood debuff, I think, if they're in the dark, or maybe that's how bugs spawn, if it's a dark tile. I don't really remember. Just can't really put a dinner table in here. Would be nice to be able to put the dining area in here as well. I didn't quite make it big enough. We're gonna scrap this building eventually and give them like proper big rooms, but for now it's a bit beyond the scope of things. So what we'll do is we'll just jam it in front of the door. I think we'll be fine. Odds are that they're not all going to eat at the same time, so I don't think it's a super big deal. I don't love it. I feel bad about it, but I think that's what's going to happen. So we got lamps. We're going to need more production. We're going to need a research bench as well, which is a very large thing. Everything else can be held off. A butcher's table as well we're going to need, but we're not going to put that where we... So if I remember right, if you butcher in the area where you keep already processed food, or in an area where you cook food, you have an increased chance of getting sick, of causing disease. So we don't want to butcher in the same room that we cook in or that we store food in. So we will build a small butcher shack probably, like they would back in the day. They would not butcher animals in the same area they prepared food. They would have a separate shack where they did that. So we'll probably end up doing that. Man, my throat, I just feel froggy today, and I hate it, and I have no control over it. And then I sound bad, and it's the first episode of a new series, and people are going to be like, I don't want to listen to this guy. He sounds like he's dying, you know? And it's like, what are you going to do? We should also set up a grow zone, which we can do that now, actually. We would want to clear a big open space to grow things. We're not going to overlap with the heal root. This can be harvested for medicine, so we're going to want to let that grow naturally. But I do think that this is a good area. Well, we also need to think about defense. So we're going to build our little area here. And then when we're done, we'll put a perimeter wall all the way around. And we'll leave like a gap at the top where they can come in. And we'll fill that with traps and make it, zigzaggy. So we can kind of take shots at them and things. So we would want the grow zone in the compound. I'm thinking about this. And then we can expand into the mountain. So I think we'll put the grow zones down here for now. No, because we're going to want to build this shack down here. We could put it over here, because that is pretty negative space. We'll go ahead and put it over there. We'll set up a grow zone. That way we can get some plants growing so we can get some vegetable matter. Apparently we can't build over this. Rough marble. Walk speed 87%. Can I fill that in with soil somehow? No? Okay. Well, that's not great. I didn't think about that. We're going to need grass and dirt to actually use grow zones. Maybe we'll put the shack over there. We will make this a grow zone, I think. So we'll go ahead and make this big old grow zone. Is it really worth it to make it big? For the time being, we'll make it relatively small. It's just because we don't have a way of preserving that food yet. This seems fine. And we'll go ahead and we'll make that the rice plant because the rice plant grows the fastest. And we will haul these items out of here, and they should automatically cut down the trees and things, and we'll haul these out of there as well. Okay, so that should be giving everyone something to do. Vaughn, what are you doing? What is your job? You're a construction guy. There's plenty of stuff for you to construct. I mean, I guess he's relaxing, which is valuable as well. Turtle and Vaughn chatted about cecropia trees. Vaughn commented about practicing roulette. Roulette's pretty cool. I mean, it's like the worst casino game to play, odd-wise, but yeah, it's fun. It's flashy. Lots of, you get to watch a ball bounce around. That's pretty, I guess that's entertaining if you were born in the 1950s or something, back in the day. So we should really wrap up the episode. Yeah, sorry if my commentary took over the gameplay, but like, it really did feel a lot worse when it was happening. And I really wanted to come home and have, like, I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have any friends or anything. So, like, I wanted somewhere I could come home and talk about my issues. So, hopefully you're cool with that. But whatever. In the future, we're going to be playing more RimWorld. So, stay tuned. Hopefully my voice balances out. And I'll drink more tea. I have my delicious pure cane tea. And we'll sort that out. So, for now, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider liking and commenting. Those things help me out a lot on a first episode of a series. But if not, that's cool. You don't have to. And I'll be back with more RimWorld in the near future. See you next time.